Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to A House of Many Doors. So I think we're all done here in the City of Engines, for now at least, right? I suppose we could advertise for new crew. We still have a couple of crew members who are giving 1 point of stats. We could rent a brainwave emitter. You know what, honestly? Yeah, let's try it. So the only interesting crew member that we attracted here would replace Pen Pusher, who I don't want to replace. Although what is his deal? His fingers are fountain pens, his teeth are nibs. Even his hair is composed of a dozen ink-leaking feather quills, jutting bizarrely from his scalp. He speaks in a barely comprehensible lisp, and his tongue is constantly black with blood and ink. Huh. I'm gonna take on a swabby. And then we're gonna get the hell out of here. So what is my plan here? We are leaving the city to go where? Pour over the map. The Tybalt problem is unresolved. I guess we gotta go to Founder. We have to go to Founder's Fire at some point. Maybe this is the time for it. Yeah, we'll just head east for a really long time. I should buy fuel. If we're gonna try something like that. I think we can just go from there, hopefully. To the east. Not to Waker's Respite, but to points beyond. And hopefully we can continue to avoid unnecessary combat, because it seems to be pretty unforgiving. I'm not gonna bother chasing those guys. Let's enter this old abandoned cottage. Inside the cottage, you find an interesting tableau. Candle stubs, a faded chalk pentagram, a dozen oddly shaped skulls, a jar of newts. It looks like a ritual was conducted here long ago. Perhaps some unlucky fool summoned themselves to the house by accident. Hey, free paraphernalia. That's worth a little something. Somebody on our crew wants a word. Dr. Delgado. Obtain the Hostage King's instructions from Laplace. Oh yeah, that is a good idea. We should probably do that. It has installed itself in the corner of Dr. Delgado's room. Its ribbiting has been infuriating the crew. His exiled majesty wants you to acquire a shipment of factory goods that are currently being ferried from the City of Keys to the City of Bridges by governor's men, croaks Laplace. They are very rare materials, so don't mess this one up. Acquire, repeats Dr. Delgado. How? Hunt them down and take it, says Laplace. By force if necessary. Dr. Delgado, we gotta have a word here. What on earth do you think we're doing here? Well, if it must be done, it must be done. Dr. Delgado fiddles with his tie. I must admit, though, I am discomfited at the notion of attacking innocent travelers for their goods. Well, yeah, they're not like innocent. Are you sure the Hostage King has the best intentions? Well, of course, says Dr. Delgado stiffly. I've worked for him for years, haven't I? Don't question his wisdom again. Okay, Jesus. Over the next few days, you notice the doctor has retreated to his engine room. He seems to be spending a lot of time in quiet thought, puffing on his pipe. Okay, we made him mad. Let's mark the route on our map here. In addition, we can ask him about his old world. He let slip that he is a visitant, building the demon to escape the house. What was his old world like? My old world was a very dull place in comparison to the house, says Dr. Delgado. All concrete and glass, no magic at all. I suppose I do miss television. And, of course, I had a family there. I miss them most of all. I miss them so much my heart shudders. And who were you? You find it hard to imagine his larger-than-life personality. You find it hard to imagine his larger-than-life personality finding a place in such a world. I was not an engineer, admits Dr. Delgado with an embarrassed cough. On my old world, I was a medical doctor. I have a natural aptitude for imagineering the machinery in the City of Engines, but outside of that, well, on my old world I worked in palliative care. Perhaps I really should be your surgeon, not your chief engineer, but I'm learning on the job, he grins. The other day, the engine started making a funny noise, so I hit it very hard with a hammer until it returned to normal. Please don't do that. Tell me about your family. They would be surprised to see me acting like this, confesses the doctor, plucking at his white coat. But secretly, I've always wanted to be a mad scientist. He strikes a pose and shouts, "For science!" My family motto is Ut vivis vigila. It means watch so that you may live. Adapt to your environment, find a way to make the best of even the worst. That's what I was taught. So when I woke up to find myself in a dome beneath the sea, surrounded by mad scientists, well, I put on the nearest lab coat and started practicing my cackle. You know, that's a kind of crazy that actually makes a lot of sense. Alright, what about a story from your world? An anecdote, a memory, a fragment? When I was small, I went through the entire neighborhood asking people what they were doing and joining them for lunch, says Dr. Delgado. I was searching for the owner of a lost puppy, you see. I ended up having about 7 lunches. In the end, I was joined by an old man without hands, who helped me find the little pup's owner. It was a rather surreal experience. Of course, me and the old man became firm friends. Okay, thank him for the insight. Is that what that was? He returns to his work, singing in a surprisingly respectable baritone. It's true, I am surprised to respect him in any way. Okay, that one is way too interested in us. Hey, I forgot to see if there was anything I could do about the bats. I'll do that between this episode and next. This is worrying. So hold on, we should look at the map. We have an idea. Okay, the governor's men are like way north of here. We'll worry about that later. We're headed to Founder's Fire. We're gonna stick to this. That's right. That time when we came out of the map, the train had just continued to run. So it feels like if I'm still holding the forward button as I transition out of the map screen, the train comes to a complete halt and starts accelerating over again from 0, but there, when I had not remembered to hold the go forward button as I closed the map screen, the train just kept moving at full speed. Some things about the controls here that I have not yet fully grasped, it seems. A distant scream. The darkness swallows it instantly. Well, obviously not instantly, because I did hear it. I wonder if it will ever be worthwhile to engage in combat. I feel like they've put a lot of work into the combat system. They probably want you to do it sometimes, right? Alright, we're gonna search for an intact book. I know this is not super likely to go well, but we're high on resources right now. Well, we did gain an indecipherable tome. Mary Glover finds a book still laying on a miraculously untouched shelf. She is quite good at that. What am I to do with all of these indecipherable tomes? A ruined fountain. A mildewy fountain from another world. A chubby statue stands in the center with an upturned jug, gazing at you moronically. The water at the base of the fountain is still crystal clear. Yeah, let's gaze into the pure water. What could possibly go wrong? Your reflection shimmers and splinters. It reforms as a grinning skeleton with a blood-dripping heart stuffed crudely into its left eye socket. You fall back, startled, and gain a haunting vision. And no sanity loss, remarkably. Somehow I'm like, that's the house for you. To be fair, that is basically just the house for you. Boy, that sure looks like a face. Fortunately, even with just the base engine, we seem to be faster than pretty much everybody else, or at least everybody we've encountered so far. Maybe as we get further away from our starting area, we are going to encounter faster and more terrifying foes. Like that bat, for instance. Why? Why did they do that? Why did they decide to do that thing? Who would design a thing that way? Uh-oh. Music. I'm worried. I'm worried about the fact that the music changed. Alright, I guess let's enter the cottage. I'm gonna guess there's a guy in here. Nope. Just some skulls and newts and whatnot. Something about this tune that's very X-Files. Great winged shape flies low overhead. I bet it's some kind of huge bat. Man, that government men route really is like way out of our way. It's very inconvenient. Okay, so it looks like maybe like 4 or 5 more to the east. This is a long, quiet trip. I'm almost more unsettled by this than I was by the constant scorpions. Just waiting. Like, it feels like something bad might happen at any moment. Okay, that's... Yep, okay, that's faster. That's a new thing. So it doesn't corner so well. Yep, we are seeing some new stuff. Movement in the shadows. Eyes gleam, then retreat. That's just a boat. Nope. Actually, it seems uninterested in me. Now I'm interested in it. Come here, boat. Twisted Salvagers. Around Ghoulwatch, the house seems especially fond of depositing otherworldly ships and shipwrecks. Salvagers like these recover such lost vessels, but their decades out in the darkness take a severe toll. Even the most upright of them is malformed, her skin ragged and gnawed, her arms stunted, her head slumped deep between her shoulders. So if we had some alcohol, we could get them to show us a map. I think we'll just bid them farewell. Y'all have a nice day out here. How does the ship even work here? So that thing seems like really bad news. It is very aware of my position. I mean, I'm not turning my light off at all. Maybe I should be in these hostile situations. So where are we now? Okay, we want to just go north from here. Yeah, continue searching for a book. It turns out Mary Glover's the only one who ever finds a book. It's just free stuff, though. We should just send Mary Glover in. No, that's ridiculous. We need to send in guards with her. We have to protect her. She's our crew's most valuable asset. Oh, this is not great. Oh, that one doesn't seem interested in us. Do we want to tear down the cairn? Yeah, I guess. We have a lot of sanity. There's nothing of value. Even the skeleton turned to dust. Cockroaches. Ah, yes. The cockroach thing happens. It is a shame that we're seeing so many repeated encounters already. The capital city of the Sixfold Principate, a magnificent sprawl dominated by the upended metal vessel around which it was built. Embedded nose down in the floor, the sleek metal founder spews unending flame. It has been plundered of its most valuable technology, and further exploration of its depths are reserved only for the prince's most trusted scientists. Floating above the city at a careful distance from the flames is the prince's personal palace, the Tower of Billowing Silk, a taffeta spiral within which the most exquisite pleasures are to be found. 8 apprehensions. A woman in rough-spun brown robes is attempting to attract your attention at the station. Okay, I guess let's not ignore her on purpose. Yes, hello, thank you. She grabs you by the arm and steers you anxiously to a quiet stall at the corner of the station, where she buys you a cup of milky tea. I need your help, she says. You'll be rewarded, I promise. I don't have much, but... She starts emptying her handbag out onto the table, creating a small heap of coins, cigarette packets, and half-eaten tubes of mints. Well, I'll do my best. Okay, who are you? My name is B, she says. I'm a member of the Summoner's Circle, just an apprentice, to tell you the truth. The Circle are a cabal of occultists who specialize in summoning from other worlds. They're probably the single most powerful group in the city, and an apprenticeship is highly coveted. Okay, so what help do you need, B? Well, I can't say anything in public. You retreat back to your kinetopede, where she finally takes down her hood and shakes out a tangle of drab brown hair. Her eyes are nestled in pitch-black circles. Thank you, she says. For a moment she hesitates, fussing with her sleeves. I came to you because... well, the prince's heart is missing. Sorry, who? The prince's heart is the official title of the leader of the circle. Oh, I thought it was just another missing heart. Silly me. You know, the prince's mouth gives the speeches, the hands write the laws, the eyes watch for trouble. Sort of a Sauron deal. And the heart summons what it desires. These are the most powerful people in all of the Principate. Well, except the prince himself. Okay, important cultural knowledge. And he's missing. Why haven't I heard about this? This should be headline news. I didn't stop to read any headlines. I don't know. Bee spreads her hands helplessly. It's been hushed up. No one outside the circle even knows he's gone. The prince's heart is a tempestuous man. He's disappeared before, but never without making arrangements first to keep things running in his absence. I'm worried about him. I don't expect you to go out of your way, but just keep an eye out. She looks forlorn. This is more than just an apprentice looking for her vanished boss. This is either hero worship or love, or perhaps both. I'm gonna ask about her relationship to the heart. Who knows, maybe we'll hit this. We didn't hit it. He's my boss, and I admire him a great deal, says Bee. Nothing more. What are you implying? Oh, nothing. Where should I start looking? Well, I don't know, says Bee. I'm just an apprentice. Maybe you could start by asking the other members of the Prince's Council? The eyes or the hands? They must know something. You know what? I will try. Oh, thank you, Bee clasps your hand. I just hope he's in one piece when you find him. She leaves the Kinetipede in a hurry and vanishes into the crowds at the station. So was she just looking for anybody coming off the train, or? It's definitely weird. Boy, we have a lot of options here. You know what? Let Sandy buy you and the crew a meal. Sandy's favorite restaurant is on the intersection of Shipshade Square and Frost Casket Lane. The food is served in exquisitely small portions, and the waiters who serve it act as though they're doing you a troublesome favor. It's expensive, too. Hideously expensive. Your crew order the choicest dishes and finest wines, and Sandy looks on with delight. Finally, she stands up on her chair and coughs. I would like to propose a toast, she says, lifting her glass and simpering, to our captain, who has kindly agreed to pay for this meal. Well, I didn't. So, which way are we going to deal with that? Do I want to react with... I don't want to react with public outrage. I want to take Sandy out into the alley and gut her. Yeah, let's do this. Out into the alley outside. Ask her, what is the meaning of this? She smiles at you with badly manufactured innocence. Well, it was very kind of you to agree to cover the bill, boss, she says. I don't have any money at all, so I couldn't possibly chip in. Alright, well, she'll have to work off the debt, I suppose. Her expression changes. Oh, don't make me work it off, Captain, she wheedles. Please, I have 7 children back home. You know, hungry mouths to feed. They rely on the money I send them. She lays a hand on your arm. I tell you what, I have something that can make this up to you, I swear. Something worth much more than a meal. Let's go back, eat our meal, then I'll tell you. If I'm lying, well, I'll work off the debt as agreed. I mean, she's obviously... Yeah, shoot her. I probably... Agree to let her off. She's already shown that she's willing to scam me. I have to assume this also is a scam. But I don't want to just fire her. I'm going to shoot her. I'm shooting her in the kneecap. Sandy's smile curdles as you pull out your pistol. Wait, what are you... A crack rings through the dingy air of the alley. Sandy shrieks. The bustle from inside the restaurant pauses, then resumes louder than before. You leave her lying in the gutter, clutching her knee and screaming. The crew stare in horror as you sit down. And then we finish the meal and run. You pass the guile challenge. You make a signal to your crew. You stand, go to the maitre d', and tell them that you're just going outside for a smoke. One by one, your crew desert the table, going off to smoke with the boss, or take a piss, or simply wordlessly sauntering out the door. By the time the restaurant staff realize what's happening, most of you are back at the Kinetipede, and then the rest dash off in all directions. Hey, that was a close one. How dare she? Alright, I suppose we ought to ask the prince's eyes and hand about the heart. I can't imagine... I'm just some strange guy. Why would they talk to me, even? We have the option. I'm going to click it. You don't find the eye. He finds you, appearing at your shoulder as you walk through a crowded street. I hear you are searching for the heart, he says conversationally. Follow me. He takes you to the Sludge Cup Cafe and buys you a pint of despicable coffee. One of his eye sockets is empty, the eyelid drooping over a hollow socket. The other eye stares from a gaunt face, the cheekbones sharp as knives. I am personally coordinating the search for the heart, says the eye. Your assistance is not needed. And, to be honest, the heart disappears like this all the time. He is a man subject to his whims. Let the matter lie. He leaves the cafe. After forcing down the last of the abominable coffee, you follow. Okay, so we've been warned. I'm wondering if the Prince's Hand is going to give us a similar warning. The Hand and Heart are friendly rivals, according to the newspapers. You catch the Prince's Hand just as he is leaving a courtroom. Both of the hands serve as chief justices in Founder's Fire, receiving petitions and passing legislature. He is a handsome man of indeterminate age, his long blonde hair wrapped in a tight bun, his beard short and impeccably trimmed. His right arm ends at the elbow, and his suit sleeve has been neatly buttoned up to cover the nub. 2 burly guards flank him, their hands resting on their pistols. Ah, you are also searching for our missing friend. The Hand studies you keenly. Excellent, the more eyes the better. Follow me. He takes you to his sumptuous gold-curtained office. So, where might he be? Well, the Prince's heart has vanished before, says the Hand. Sometimes the stress of his position is too much, and he likes to go on these little impulsive jaunts. Last time we found him, he was on a fishing holiday in Gandola. Before that, he'd founded some kind of mad cult in Eld Abrathat. You might like to try those places first. Perhaps he's returned to an old haunt. Okay, well, I guess that's a place where we could start, and we'll be hunted, I'm sure, by the eye. You find in your pocket an unsigned letter. He sits in the window of the Sludge Cup Cafe, a cup of coffee sitting untouched before him, watching, always watching the stream of passers-by beyond the glass. There's only one eye in his hollow face, and it focuses on you as you sit at his table. I am the Prince's Eye, he says. You work for me now. The governor offers you nothing but ashes and lies. Trust me on this. He stares through the window. Look at them, he says bitterly. They don't know what we do for them. So he will pay us for secrets with guineas and reputation. Seems like a busy place to conduct espionage. The cafe is bustling. Oh, come on now, says the Prince's Eye. They all work for me. Every regular citizen in Founder's Fire avoids the Sludge Cup like the plague. It took us 18 months to engineer coffee this bad. The Prince's Eye turns his mug upside down. The coffee slops out gently. He goes back to mournfully watching the passers-by. The Sludge Cup looks as busy as ever, though you notice bulky shapes under the patrons' coats, and their careful eyes follow you as you walk to the table where the Eye sits and stares. Tell me everything you know, snaps the Prince's Eye. His hollow socket bores through you with as much intensity than his glimmering green eye. That's a little not ideally written. Okay, well, we do have some things. Do we want reputation with the Sixfold Principate? I don't really have much of a sense of the players in the area. Maybe it's a bad idea to up our rep with them, but I do have a terrible secret, and I am a little short on cash. Yeah, sure. He jots down the details on a napkin. Places his hand against the window, breath steaming the glass. Sometimes I write messages, he says. Cool. And then I'm gonna bail with my weird dream still intact, because it's not really worth that much money. Now that we have a little bit of money, we can maybe do a thing here. So, we could delve into the Founder. The fires of the Founder roar, devouring the darkness above, but not the darkness below. You spend a reputation. Okay. Founder is not open to just anyone. Or we could bid for the Prince's favor, maybe just like a small chance to gain a point of reputation that you can only do if you don't have much. Yeah, let's see. Rumor has it that one of the Prince's hands will be attending a party at a grand estate in Blovia's Boulevard. This would be a perfect opportunity to get close to one of the Prince's closest advisors. You don't have an invitation, of course, but that shouldn't stop you. No, of course it doesn't. I just bluffed my way in. The doorman is a 7-foot creature with rubbery gray dolphin-like skin. It points its broad face in your vague direction and demands to see an invitation. You make a convincing show of having forgotten your invite. Your fine clothes and mannerisms do the rest. The dolphin thing at the door blubs an apology and lets you pass. The estate is a sprawl of gardens, fountains, and marble. Fireworks sparkle and crackle overhead. You drift between clusters of minor nobility making small talk, before finally alighting upon your target. The Prince's hand is a handsome man of indeterminate age, his long blonde hair wrapped in a tight bun, his beard short and impeccably trimmed. His right arm ends at the elbow, and his suit's... Yeah, we get the deal. We know this. So... Boy, we do not have good odds here, huh? Let's... test of spirit. We're better at spirit than we are at esoterica, right? I'm just gonna flatter him gently. A delicate task. You don't want to seem obsequious. The prince's hand listens to your flattery with a wry smile, but he doesn't ask you to stop. Finally, he thanks you for your kindness and shakes your hand. He had a twinkle in his eye. Perhaps you made an impression. Alright, +1 reputation. The rest of the party's a bore. You managed to slip away before the 7th speech. We've been pretty lucky today. We're definitely hitting above expected value. What else do we have here? We could submerge ourselves in color and spectacle. The Principate celebrates rather than imprisons its new visitants. The city streets are a hubbub of bizarre, otherworldly fashions. Yeah, let's go check that out. A street circus is in full swing. Acrobats pirouette on beds of nails. Elephantine creatures dance on their hind legs. A 2-bit occultist breathes clouds of sparkling green smoke. The ringmaster is a scaly thing, its head balanced on a neck as long as your arm. To you, this seems as marvelous as anything else in the circus, but the crowd pay it no mind. Hours later, the circus shows no sign of winding down, but we took in a breathtaking spectacle there. We should also preach the word of Anglecrab, probably, while we're here. We said we would. Founder's Fire surges with people, colors, noise. Good luck standing out. You ask the crowd if they're bored of being forced to exist in only 4 dimensions. Anglecrab can help them see beyond conventional time and space. If they simply give up their blasphemous idolatry of circles. Praise Anglecrab. Really? Are those the rules? Dude hates circles because there's no angles in them? Your rhetoric is lost in cheers as a fire breather cartwheels past you, flames exploding from his every orifice. Ow. You start again, but your small audience rushes away. Apparently, a famous tightrope walker has started performing on the other side of the square. Alright, well, somewhere else we'll have to accept, my god. We'll just keep looking. Let's drop off our passenger. Your passenger pays what was promised and slips into the crowd. You hope whatever awaits them is better than what they left. And also that they won't be too mad about how long that took. What do I want to do with my prisoners? We have a Karchar... Don't we have a normal... Maybe we just have a Karchar prisoner now. Should we just release him? I mean, I don't feel like our character is the kind of guy who just brutally executes prisoners or lashes them to the front of the train. Certainly not without a good reason. I'm gonna release him. It feels a little bad to just divest ourselves of a resource, but also I'd feel even worse doing anything else with him. Your crew lead the stumbling prisoner away from the kinetopede. When they've reached a reasonable distance, you unshackle the poor wretch, shake them by the hand, and wish them the best of luck. Hopefully, eventually the fact that we're releasing prisoners is worth something. Yeah, maybe one of them will come back to us and be like, hey, you didn't kill me when you could have, so I'll help you. Prospective passenger. A shabby ghoul asks for safe passage to Scornvaunt. He'll pay you 100 guineas on arrival. Sure, I'm all about learning where new places are. Okay, let's, I guess it's time. It's time to delve into the Founder. It doesn't seem like there's any other reason to maintain our reputation. I think this is what it's for. At the top of the Founder, the roar of the engines consumes all noise. To get here, you had to call in a few debts and favors. A foreigner, delving the Founder is a minor sacrilege. Your reputation in the Principate will suffer a blow. The floor vibrates beneath your feet. Your crew follow you through vast steel halls. These upper floors have long since been picked clean by the prince's scavengers. Yeah, I mean, let's head deeper, right? You pass the engine's core. The glow is so bright it almost blinds. The nearest wall is mounted with a dozen flickering screens. As you pass, all of them broadcast an image of your face. Intruder, declares a monotonous voice. A klaxon sounds. Intruder! Intruder! The effect is rather unnerving, but nothing else happens. You wait for a moment, then continue on. Yeah, so it seems like maybe the security system's been disabled or something. Let's head deeper. Cryogenics procedure initiated, declares a mild voice from the ceiling. Suddenly, Mang Sub Mang, oh boy, a crew member whose name I don't recognize, is grabbed by a dozen steel tendrils and pulled toward an open metal coffin. Well, so Guts versus Grit Do we chop at the tendrils, or do we just try to pull Mang Zub Mang free? I'm gonna go for chopping. I'm worried that if we pull and the tentacles pull, there's gonna be a bad sort of somebody should have given up kind of situation here. The founder will not be resisted. Mang Zub Mang is dragged screaming into the coffin, which slams shut in an instant. None of your efforts can get the lid open again. You lost some sanity. Okay, well that's not ideal. I guess let's head deeper. I'm feeling a little disturbed by what I've just seen here, though. Heat. Sweltering heat. A crew member faints and must be dragged back up top for air. You step into a featureless vault. The door slams behind you. Contamination detected, stammers a disembodied voice above. Incineration procedure initiated. Steel nozzles slide from the walls around you. They begin to glow red. Oh dear. Guile versus Vigilance. I feel like we're pretty good at Guile lately. I'm gonna take my chances over here. We'll just pick the lock. You jimmy the door open not a moment too soon and rush to safety just as the flames roar. Pen Pusher's coattails are singed, but you suffer no worse injury than that. Boy, why did Pen Pusher even come with us in here? Alright, let's head deeper. I'm really curious what might be at the bottom. The door hisses open as you approach, belching cold vapor. Have a nice day, it commands. You have reached the end of the first floor. A nearby glass column has smashed open, rusting the metal with spilled contents. You find a wrinkled thing with teeth curled up in the puddle, ancient and mummified. You have fully explored the first floor of the Founder. In future delves, we can just... Okay, so we checkpointed. We got a thrilling yarn and a primordial oddity. Both seem valuable. I'm gonna push deeper. The corridors are littered with steel coffins, scattered like shaken chess pieces. The corridor is blocked by freezing vapor, billowing from a shattered pipe. Graft versus Vigilance. We're at a disadvantage either way. Let's go Graft. I'm so good at Graft, that's the thing. A little hammering later, and you fixed up the ancient pipe. And then we head deeper. Now that we know there's a checkpoint, I definitely want to find another checkpoint. As you pass one of the coffins, its lid... Okay, cryogenics procedure. So, the tests are getting harder. It seems like maybe it's rolling on the same pool of random events, but the numbers are going up. Unfortunately, this is Mary Glover, and I have very strong feelings about her being freed. The tendrils cannot be chopped. We pull. The tendrils fall away, writhing and sparking. Procedure failed, declares the voice sadly. Please try again. Mary Glover is covered in light friction burns and shaking violently, but otherwise she seems fine. She's ready to find a book on a shelf at any moment. And we head deeper. The air down here is ungodly cold. Your crew shiver behind you. Their lips are blue. A row of tall glass columns. Slithering things press against the insides. You notice Samuel Scarper pulling a knife from his belt, staring at you with an odd, unfocused glare. Okay, well fortunately our spirit is high enough to actually have a good chance to calm him down. Voices in my head, he moans. In a calm but insistent tone, you tell him to drop the knife. Whoa. Whoa, musical cue. Take it easy. And to remember all the good times you've shared together. Because there probably have been some of those, right? He clutches his hands to his head, sobbing. When he looks up again, the strange expression is gone, and the knife falls from his hands. I'm getting real low. We're getting real low on sanity as a group here, but I'm going to push a little deeper because I hope we're going to be able to checkpoint again soon. We did it! A door tries to hiss shut as you approach, but it just bumps repeatedly against a coffin blocking the way. The coffin pops open under the pressure, revealing its gaunt and long-dead occupant. In future delves, we got a checkpoint, a thrilling yarn. We're just going to take the whole corpse. Of course, why wouldn't we? And then I'm going to head back because we're running out of sanity. Also, this is starting to get pretty difficult. We're having a lot lower success chance. Maybe we want to come back once we've got some more stats. But that was certainly interesting. Let's gather news. Newsboards, newspapers, crackling radio towers. Founder's Fire overloads you with information, if you're willing to pay. The prince's mouth has made another stirring speech. An exciting discovery is reportedly made in the bowels of the Founder. Another influx of visitants are welcomed. Alright, well, fire splutters and roars. Seems like standard stuff. We gotta get sanity back. Let's just take a little bit of time chilling out here. You discover a smoky little restaurant and dine there with your crew, chatting with them amicably over spiced dumplings and skewered lamb. When you collapse into bed that night, your sleep is peaceful and untroubled by nightmares. What an unusual experience. So that's not, like, totally ideal. It's expensive and we're not getting that much sanity back, but I really do want to push my sanity up to a happy place. Steady's good enough, I think. I mean, we may as well combine our disquieting incidents, right? And then we'll do one more sanity restoration. You wake sweating, and then you take a little bit more time to rest and recover. Okay, do we want to attempt to decipher this indecipherable tome? I'm assuming that if we fail, we're probably going to lose a bunch of sanity. But who knows? Maybe it will destroy the tome. I'm going to hold off until our esoterica is a little higher. So I guess with that, we're cool to leave. Let's see what they have for sale here. Fuel, a burnished steel coat, which would increase our hull considerably, but is really expensive. Gunpowder, Aranex silk, highly prized and in short supply. We sold the silk that we had, I believe. I mean, we have a lot of stuff. I'm assuming that some of this will sell for a reasonable amount of money. From the Summoner's Circle, in the Summoner's Circle, we can sell glimpses of another world. We do have a couple of those. I'm going to sell both of them, I think. And the Prince's Menagerie, he would like us to bring him live things. Okay. I could do that. I'm going to buy some more fuel, since we just had that windfall and everything. And then I think we can just get out of here, right? Yeah, let's just go. So, pour over the map real quick. Took a passenger to Founder's Fire. Wait, does our current passenger wants to go to the City of Angels? Is that right? I already don't remember it. This is a problem with my brain. Ghoul wants to go. I thought, whatever. It's fine. Let's if that is indeed where they want to go, we could. Oh man, what was it that we were supposed to bring to Dr. Grindelow? I've forgotten. You know where the City of Bridges is? I guess we could just drive up there. We could go past the City of Knives to ambush the governor's men. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. I do wish that it was a little bit easier to track your objectives. Determined to be a better guard captain. Scornvaunt. That's right, he said Scornvaunt. This is the menu I wanted. So we've checked out the Founder. The text here is incorrect. We don't know where Gandola or Eld Abrathat are. Yeah, we have a lot of concerns, it turns out. 3 sacks of salt, a warding iron, and an occult relic. So we gotta try to remember to be on the lookout for those things. I don't think we saw any of them. No. Okay, well, that being the case, I don't know where Scornvault is. So I guess we're just leaving. We'll find it. Possibly. Eventually. Maybe. There's nothing much up north for a long, long while. It head west back to the Seven Cities, southeast to the Incarnate University, northeast to Gandola. Well, we are supposed to check out Gandola. You know what? Let's try it. Northeast to Gandola. We don't really know where we're going, but our navigator could just find us a place, right? We are missing a person. Also, they're not dead. Okay, 60 apprehension I need for the next step of this. We're at 39 apprehensions, I believe. I was just trying to remember what her job was. It's a little bit of a bummer that it doesn't say. She was our light bearer, I think. One of the crew is whistling. The tune is naggingly familiar. If you say anything in a menacing enough tone, it can sound spooky. This might be bad. We're going to enter the cottage, get some paraphernalia, and then, be too slow to get moving. Unromantic pirates. No group is so romanticized in the city as the Aerostat pirate, subject of 1,000 torrid romances. Unfortunately, the scarred, mad-eyed rabble descending on you right now look nothing like the handsome rogues that decorate dust jackets. So we could attempt combat, or a test of vigilance. Hey, that rocket engine looks unstable. Rusted, leaking oil, belching smoke. A good hit on that thing might send the whole dirigible up in flame. But it will require a keen eye. I'm going to try it. Failed. You failed a grit challenge, despite the fact that you took a vigilance challenge. Your missile sails harmlessly past the advancing dirigible. Realizing your plan, the pirates simmer down their rattling rocket engines. Oh, that's a shame. Well then, the fleeing. You have failed a guile challenge, damn it. Panorama turns off your heartlight, and Banjo slams the kinetopede into sudden, lurching, scrabbling movement. You skitter into the darkness, but the airship follows, keeping you fixed in the radius of its own heartlight. Finally, they catch you, trap you. You have no choice but to turn and face them one by one. They don't bother with any further pleasantries. They open fire. Well, I'm a little worried about this. Oh, they only have 130 hull, though. They do have 3 guns, which I don't care for. Who said you could have 3 guns? So we're just gonna hammer one of their guns as much as possible while attempting to flee, I think? Oh, it's true. There's no one in the weapon bay. Do we need a gunner? Let's have a junior engineer run up there. I'm wondering if you need a gunner or if a gunner just makes it more effective. Okay, you do not need a gunner. But probably it would be good to have a gunner. And then we run! I'm going to try to disengage here. Okay, not great shooting. Honestly, we didn't take that much damage there. Banjo Smigs, the pilot, probably don't stand in a fire. I hate having to spend an action on this. Why do we have multiple people standing directly on top of each other? Well, I'm going to do these things and then run. Maybe we can just bust that gun. I mean, obviously we gotta hope to get a little bit luckier with our shooting than we have been. Do I think we have enough? Ow. Okay, that's not so bad. 1, 2, 3... Oh, so close. Well, there's no point in hitting the thing again, because we still won't be able to flee. I may as well just shoot. Maybe we'll get lucky and it'll destroy the gun before it fires. Well, no, apparently not. Uh-oh. That seems very bad. Cannot flee. Boy. Okay, so we need Chief Engineer Henry Delgado over here. This has got to get fixed. This combat golem has to... Nope. Are you an enemy Did they shoot a golem onto our ship? Is that what happened? I think that might be what happened. Apparently I cannot run. Okay, we got the heart light back on. Maybe we'll be able to run next turn now. We're at 38 total hull. We're probably about to die, actually. This is probably going to kill us. We did finally disable one of their guns. Yeah, not that it matters much. Darkness rushes in. Just another lost soul. You thought there would be more. You have died. Well, that's it then. Okay, I guess that's it then. But this game uses proper saves, like, unlike Sunless Skies. So if I hit continue... Okay, it looks like it maybe is even auto-saving when we reach places. Okay. Well, that being the case, then I am going to... This is a very different sort of thing. I will say that the weird death recovery system on Sunless Skies always felt really tacked on. Like, you get this thing with the lineage system where people become convinced that the Sunless games are roguelikes, which they are very, very much not. So maybe it's better to elide that concern entirely and just have a more standard sort of save and progress system. I think we'll call it here. And what I'll do is I'll just play back up to approximately where we died there. And that's where we'll pick up tomorrow. So when you come back next time, that is where we will be, hopefully not being hunted down by a bunch of very unromantic pirates in a dirigible. And we'll see you then.